What's up? So, this will be a short one. Um, I know a while ago I had alluded to I was working on a project, and as that project is nearing its end, I think it's only fair to let you all know that I've been writing a book, um, and it's almost done. It's been consuming me for the last little while, trying to make sure that the turn, as I call it, because I don't know all the actual terms for it, because it's not the climax, but it's like the narrative spot where the story just shifts, and had to make sure that was right, leading, and then the approach up towards the conclusion. I have to make sure that that's absolutely right because I'm trying to make this be contained within one book because I don't think it could really be that much of a series, like Harry Potter or something. I don't think it possesses that type of staying power. Um, so yeah, that's been consuming me for a while. Um, got some done over the weekend when I was house sitting for a friend of mine, and yeah, it's it was hard to even, as you can tell, my bed is kind of not put together because I went and did laundry earlier. That's why it's so late coming out. Um, but it was hard just to even concentrate to read Spider-Man comics, which I normally kind of go and read comics when I'm at the laundromat. And this is the first time in about 2 months that I actually took stuff to read, whereas before it was typing on my phone because the file that I use is between my iPad, my phone, and my computer. So, um, yeah, it's been crazy trying to get this thing together. And I figured as I'm nearing the end, start getting people interested to where if you did want to read the book, I'll start giving more details as things go on. But there's maybe 20 or 30 pages left to write. And I don't know if it'll be by the next time I have a Tuesday video come out that it will be at least the rough draft is ready. Then there's editing. Have to try and find a literary agent. All the things that I've looked up tells me that that's a very wise thing to do, even if they do take 15% off of the top. Which, I'm like, well, 85% ish is still better than anything else. And I've read without a literary agent, you have like a 1 to 2% chance to actually have someone give a damn to publish your book. Um, so trying to, as I'm nearing the end of this writing process, build up some hype for it. Um, what I can tell you is, uh, it's not your average coming of age tale, but it is a coming of age tale. Um, God, it's so hard to explain without actually throwing out any spoilers or anything. Um, it deals with a group of kids um, getting ready to kind of get into the last year. Some of them are in the last year of high school and just sort of trying to plan out what comes next. And then stuff happens and they're thrown into the real adult world that most kids in their teens would never come across. And by most, I mean damn near every single one of them. And in some aspects, there has never been a team that has ever come across the same thing that they have. I'm being cryptic for a reason. It's a very character-driven story. It's one that I've been writing off and on for about, well, this will be the third time I've started this story. Um, in my Google Docs, which is 8.5 by 11, I'm almost at 190 pages in that. So if you scrunch that down and put it into actual book form, you're probably talking 240, 250 by the time it's all done. So it's not a real big, thick book, because there were times where I was writing, and there was one particular time I cut 53 pages out. It was it was rough, because I was writing and I was enjoying it, and everything was fine, and then I just kind of went, like, it just, nothing, everything that I was writing just felt off, and I was trying to do something, and this book's a little unique because there's no no antagonist until almost halfway through the book. And that's when I start jumping back and forth between perspectives. I don't do it beforehand because otherwise it would not make sense. So if you're used to reading a book and you're used to reading this character, and then it switches over to this character, and then they just kind of slowly work them and walk them till they meet. I do the same thing, but the kids have to run before the antagonist can even show up to walk, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it's been crazy. So here's just a snippet of this chapter 7. We're going through 8. This was 9. There's 10. 11. So I mean, that's this. If you see over here, you can see down here in the corner, it's 50 pages. There was some stuff that I kept. There was some spots that I really liked, and when I could still fit these in here, and some of them had a purpose. But as much of a perfectionist as I am, I'm not trying to change. I'm not trying to have my ending be perfect, but I am trying to have it perfectly make sense. And that's what a big part of these 4 chapters of 50 pages were, is just it didn't fit. And at the time I went from 138 pages to 83. I just pulled that out, and then it was able to take 3.5, 4 pages, and hang on to that, and everything else from there was rebuilt and redone, and it's it's crazy. I remember reading about Stephen King and how he had finished a book and then just threw it away because he didn't like it. And I always thought that was absurd. I'm going, what are you talking about, man? There has to be something in there you can salvage. And with those 50 pages, I started typing something alternatively. And then I really liked where that was going. And I'm going, all right, well, from this, I have all these ideas that of stuff that I could do later. And I was like, okay, I have to clue in on this. And it just went crazy from there. But now that the jumping back and forth is taking steps towards the pinnacle of the book, the climax, the conclusion, whatever you want to call it, the main conflict, whatever terminology you want to throw to it. That is what is consuming me right now. And so a lot of my thoughts that I want to try to do for these podcasty things are just a jumbled mess. So, and I know last week I didn't have one. This week I wanted to get this out earlier, but I was fortunate to go to the laundromat when I did, because shortly after right before I was getting ready to leave, I saw like 6 cars pulled up, and I went, man, I would probably turn around and leave, because I don't know, I like having my own personal private time at the laundromat. Usually I go way early in the morning, and 8 o'clock was a little late getting out there, but I knew I'd be cutting it close to try and have this out by 10, so it is a little late, but I guess I'm making up for it by making it short. But yeah, as more things start to come up about the book, endings or anything like that, I'll let y'all know, because I don't want to try to self-publish this. I want to see if my work is good enough to actually have a publisher pick it up, because I already have an idea for the next one that I'm doing. It was another book that I've already tried to write 3 times and just couldn't really push past some of it. Like, it's just, it for what I'm trying to do, the first book is pivotal to be an exact specific way. And I think once I figure out this ending for this one, that's going to help for the first book of the other one, because I do have a trilogy in mind. It's all the more I can say about it, because I can't really tell you about the second book, because it spoils the hell out of the first one. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be one of those ones where I remember Tolkien had written Lord of the Rings as like this big old thick thing, and the publisher was going, we need to chop this up. And the fact that they named the third book Return of the King, he's like, what the hell are you doing? You just spoiled everything. And that'd be about the same thing with this one after the first book, is that the first one's going to have something in there that just jars you if it's done right. And it's kind of something I want to take on next. We'll see how it goes, though, one at a time. But yeah, that's all I got. Anything you want to throw down below, please do. But I'll try to have more consistent updates, not on a Tuesday, and then go back to my normal ramblings of a madman on Tuesdays. But yeah, thanks for popping by, and hope to see you soon. Take care.